porque tuvimos Paco de las 5 de la mañana aquí. La verdad es que no. Les pela mucho la Luisa que ya murió años y sigue molestando a todo el país. Es que no se puede entender, hasta el gobierno está metido. Han inventado, todo es invento. Y está todo el gobierno y los pacos están todos en contra de que se celebre esto.
Around 4 a.m. this past Saturday, 6th of June, a massive military police raid was carried out on the working-class Santiago community of Villa Francia. The main targets of the raid, which has been described as the biggest attack on grassroots working-class organizations in Chile since the dictatorship, were the Luisa Toledo People's Dining Hall, Comedor Popular Luisa Toledo, named for a beloved fighter against police repression from the day 2 of her sons were assassinated by the dictatorship in 1985 until her death, and the iconic community radio station Radio Villa Francia. In all, 14 people were arrested, of whom 9 have since had their arrests declared illegal by a magistrate, and the facilities of both the radio station and the dining hall were badly damaged. We were raided, the Luisa Toledo People's Dining Hall said in a public statement. Quote, "They took all our food, they took away toys from the school and materials we use to work with children. They accuse us of being in possession of explosives. They're trying to pin grenades and large caliber weapons on us," end quote.
A las 4 de la mañana fuimos allanados, nos sacaron todos los alimentos, la escuelita que funciona acá, se llevaron sus juguetes, se llevaron el material en el cual ellos trabajan. También la escuelita que tiene la escuelita de fútbol, también se llevaron todo el material que tienen. Usaron una camiseta de la escuelita de fútbol para decir que acá se arman artefactos explosivos. Nosotros somos un espacio social, trabajamos con la niñez, trabajamos con los jóvenes. No tenemos artefactos explosivos como nos están diciendo. Nos están cargando granadas, nos están cargando armamento de alto calibre. En un espacio social no se puede hacer esas cosas. El arma más letal para ellos es que nosotros nos organicemos. Y este espacio es un espacio organizado. Quiero presentar.
The pretext for the raid was the alleged presence of weapons and explosives on the premises, an accusation Radio Villa Francia and the Luisa Toledo People's Dining Hall both vehemently deny, and for which the military police have been unable to produce any credible evidence. Lorenzo Morales, defense counsel for one of those arrested, says,
"Los hechos son sorprendentes por la poca prolijeridad del Ministerio Público y aparte por la falta de investigación previa. Son imputaciones al voleo. Yo lo lamento porque este es el primer montaje político-social del gobierno de Boric, lo digo con bastante responsabilidad. Ellos se ufanaron toda la tarde de esta investigación. Esta no es una investigación, esta es una pseudo-investigación que finalmente quería atrapar a jóvenes que luchan."
The lack of detail and the absence of any prior inquiry leads him to describe the operation as, quote, "the first political and social stitch-up of the Boric government," a reference to the long-standing Chilean governmental tradition of planting weapons and other evidence on regime opponents in order to trump up charges against them or to explain away their violent deaths. The raid stood out for the violence with which it was conducted, says the leftist news site La Izquierda Diario, and for the perverse decision to carry it out on another anniversary of the death of Luisa Toledo, hours before an event commemorating the historic fighter against repression was to take place, end quote. Radio Villa Francia is a respected, independent, working-class community radio station that has been in continuous operation since 1980 during the Pinochet dictatorship. It is the longest-standing representative of the working-class independent community radio movement in Chile, which acts as an amplifier for the voices of those organizing against the dictatorship and the repressive neoliberal regime that has succeeded it. The Luisa Toledo People's Dining Hall, too, is an example of one of the cornerstones of working-class self-organization in the country, where working-class communities set up self-managed food provision, known as ollas comunes, both to alleviate food insecurity and, in so doing, to strengthen those communities' ability to resist the regime. By targeting institutions such as these, the Boric government has attacked the very foundations of every mass popular mobilization in Chile since the national days of protest against the dictatorship in the 1980s. Nor is this the first such attack by the government. The Villa Francia raids come in the context of an escalating pattern of repression against working class and indigenous organizations, previous high points of which include the criminalization of the indigenous Mapuche organization Coordinadora Arauco Mayeco, or CAM, which led to the sentencing of Mapuche Huarquen, or messenger, Héctor Yaitul, to 23 years imprisonment, and the violent eviction of the self-managed working-class housing project 17 de Mayo from a vacant lot belonging to a property developer. Comrades in Chile have long been warning that political repression has been escalating in the country ever since the start of the centrist government of Gabriel Boric, who was feted as a socialist and movement leader by English-language left media outlets that apparently did not see fit to see whether Chilean leftists would agree with the description.